Kenya is the leading exporter of garments under the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act AGOA in sub-Saharan Africa. The textile industry earns the country about $400 million annually in export of garments that have been stitched together by Kenyan firms using imported fabric. However, high costs of labor and fabric imports in textile firms have been posing a challenge to the competitiveness of Kenya's textile industry. Cabinet Secretary Industrialization Adan Mohamed told Reuters news agency that labor and fabric import costs together make up 80% of textile firms' operating costs. Adan said, and I quote, "I don't have a problem with the cost of labor being high, but the productivity must match that high cost." End of quote. He says the government expects 20 companies to start investing about 8 billion shillings in the textile industry after the renewal of a deal offering access to the US market without tariffs or quotas. Adan says the companies had been awaiting the AGOA extension for another 10 years before moving ahead with their investments. He says, and I quote, "Half of the 20 firms that are ready to invest are already operating in Kenya and want to expand. The other half are companies that are coming from Sri Lanka, from Bangladesh, from India, that are coming here looking at opportunities in this place." End of quote. The government is targeting $1 billion in export earnings from the textile industry in the next 2 years. Adan says this target is expected to increase to $10 billion in 10 years. Melline Myendo for Business Insight.